weekend dreamers. Welcome back to the Lost in Dreams podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Menzie. It's a doubleheader this week. You know Tim as the frontman of Hey Rosetta, who now has a solo career that has seen him adorned with nominations and awards over the past few years. Nico Paulo is an incredibly gifted musician and designer from Portugal. Since moving to Canada, she has been finding her voice as a songwriter and is now designing for and playing with her partner, you guessed it, Tim Baker, across North America and Europe. So glad the happy couple could do this show. This is Tim Baker and Nico Paulo.
A few odd jobs around the house here. We just got here and it's an empty house.
Right.
And so we were sort of picking old furniture out of the basement, dusting things off, setting it up. And we got to refinish some floors and restain the deck and yada, yada, yada. Anyway.
Whoa, nice.
We'll be busy enough.
Yeah, that's awesome. So where exactly are you guys right now?
We're in St. John's on La Marchant Road in my old house. I bought this house about 15 years ago and lived in it for a long time, 12 years or something, and then rented it out for the last couple of years I've been in Toronto. So
Yeah.
Nice.
I accidentally broke one of your lamps in the basement when I was there last, and I'm sorry about that.
we're down a couple lamps, actually. We were talking about that this morning.
It's your fault.
Nicole's working at a desk with no lamp on it, and we blame you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll mail you one.
Perfect.
Thank you so much for being here. I'm on with Tim Baker and Nico Paulo, and as usual, I am joined by my co-host, Joce Reyome. And yeah, thank you for being here, guys. It's a real pleasure to talk to you.
No sweat. Our pleasure, yeah. I'm a little nervous.
Oh, don't be. There's no pressure here. We are just having some fun. So when I start the podcast, my first question is always, do you dream?
Well, that's why I'm nervous. But the answer is no. I mean, I do dream, and everyone always says, well, you dream, you just don't remember them. Well, why? I said, what the hell's the difference? But I don't remember my dreams. Maybe once a week I'll get a brief snippet of something.
Not even once a week.
Not even once a week. But
Right.
Every now and then I get like a cool adventure. And I really enjoy it. I wish I had more of them.
Yeah. What kind of things do you dream about when you do get them?
Usually very boring things, like very realistic things. You know, like I'm slightly late for lobby call, but like it's not a big deal. And I'm wearing shoes, but there's somebody else's shoes or something. Like really boring.
You did have a cool dream.
I did have a cool dream last night, though.
Was it
Wow.
last night?
Yeah.
What was it then?
Well, I'm always nervous to describe a dream because I feel like it's boring to other people, but I guess that's why we're here. It was kind of COVID related. We were at a big party, which was exciting. Although I was nervous about COVID the whole time. And so I was like trying not to be too close to anybody. But we were at a big party that was in a old high school that had turned, it was like a 5-story big high school that was all party. And so you could go into different classrooms. There was different scenes happening. And there was a big bar on the top floor. It was like everyone was drinking and dancing. It was kind of sweaty. And there was like some old friends that I hadn't seen in a while, and we're a bit nervous about getting COVID. But someone said if you drink a certain amount of vodka, then you wouldn't get
Oh my God!
COVID.
Really?
Yeah, because we were drinking vodka last night. It was my birthday yesterday, and we had our own little dance party here, our own little quarantine dance party here,
Oh my God!
Nice.
which was fun. That's a dream that I had.
There was another cool dream you had though a couple months ago that you were back with Hey Rosetta and you forgot all the lyrics for the songs and you were on stage. I was like, oh my God, why didn't I practice? You remember?
Classic.
You woke up and you were like so nervous about it. I was like, oh my God, thank God this is just a dream.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd really describe that as a cool dream.
That's a cruel dream.
Yeah, exactly. How about you, Nico? What are your dreams like?
My dreams are very vivid, and I don't know, I have all kinds of dreams. Almost every night I dream a lot, and I normally remember it. Sometimes I like record them, like if I wake up in the middle of the night and if there's like something like super fascinating, like I see, my grandma that passed away or she came to visit or something like that, I will actually record it in my voice memos so I don't forget it. And sometimes I have like, I don't know, I have dreams about being in like multiple houses at the same time. It's like my first apartment when I was like younger, then changes to our family home, and then my grandma's house, and then back here in like Canada. It's like every time you turn around, you're just like in a different environment, but you know that, but it all feels like it's one place. But it's at the same time not. It's kind of confusing. But I've talked about it with other friends that have similar, like related with like architectural like spaces, like related dreams to this, and they relate to this feeling. But I don't know. I also dream sometimes about music, and like I have melodies that come from it for songs.
Awesome. Like in the dream, or kind of in the, because I've had other guests on the show that do get melodies in dreams, but most of the time it comes from like that place where it's in between sleeping and your waking life. But these are coming directly from your dreams. In your dream, you're getting melodies. Yeah,
I think they are. It is kind of confusing, actually. It's like, I always say that it's like the more you try to recall your dreams, it's like you're chasing something that it's getting erased as you're thinking of it, almost like,
right, yeah.
So sometimes it's like if I'm trying to remember like a specific dream, it's like I know what it is and I know the feeling of it, but I like visually I can't go back to it for some reason. And then there's also like the kind of dreams where I know I'm with someone, but that person isn't there. It's like there's a perception of a sound or a person or a color. I don't know. For example, it's my best friend, but it wasn't her. She was in a different body.
That's very common.
That's very common, right?
It's classic. Yeah, like you have badly cast actors playing your friends and family.
It's like, it was, it was my friend Rachel, but then it wasn't. Then it was my friend Joanna, or I don't know. It's just like they were the same
sometimes
person.
You get gender switches too, which is cool. Which is like,
I do.
You see your friend who is, it's your friend who is a male, but then they're like there as a woman. That's super cool. It's like your mind doesn't really care about the specifics. It's just focused on the essence of that person.
That feeling of how they are in your life.
Yeah. What's that quote from Schitt's Creek? I don't like the label, I like the wine or something. So, you're looking at what it is, not what it's labeled.
Yeah. I find that's really interesting, you talking about trying to describe your dream, and the closer you get, the more it disappears. It's almost like because the dream world is like non-lingual or something, as you try to apply words to it and like record it and even speak it, you realize that you can't fully capture what it is in language. You can't capture the feeling, and the more you try to fit it in a box, the more it just resists and doesn't fit or something.
It's funny because I don't know if like the fact that I know English is not my first language, but Portuguese is. I don't know if that affects the way I dream. Like, I don't know if you guys have like a specific language that you talk with other people in your dreams. If you are talking, I don't even know if it's real talking. It's just like, what they're saying. Like there's a perception of it, but I often don't think it's one or the other. It's almost like, like Avatar, they have this connectors and they just like pass information through these like tails. It's almost like kind of like that, but like a telepathical channeling.
Interesting.
I don't know.
That sounds like it's similar to the actor thing, like the people, it's your friend, but it's not them, and you're distracting me. It's your friend, but it's not them, and it's like the essence of them is more important than the specifics of them. Just like the essence of what someone is saying to you or what you're saying is more important than the language it's in or something, or the words that you use.
Yeah.
It's like your mind is a step ahead of the the production of your dream.
Yeah, your mind. Yeah, your mind's one step ahead of your mind.
Yeah. Did you guys? I mean, you're into dreams. You're doing this podcast. You must have heard the brilliant Jonathan Goldstein Wiretap episode where he talks about dreams, and I don't think it's even his idea, but he talks about dreams as this sort of cheap production. You know, they've badly cast these terrible actors to play your friends, but somehow you're so gullible in your sleep that you believe everybody is who they are, and the special effects are terrible, and like the sets are terrible. It's my house, but it looks nothing like my house. But somehow you believe it, you know. I love that.
Yeah. Suspended disbelief.
Yeah.
Tim, I find it really interesting that you don't dream that often, but you reference dreams a lot in your music and in your writing, even when you don't have them. So what draws you to write about dreams, even though it's not something that's a regular occurrence?
Well, I don't dream. What is that?
I'm interested too.
Oh, you're interested.
Yeah.
I guess in a lyrical sense, when you talk about dreams, you're not just referring to the little adventures you have when you're asleep, but there's the broader sense of like fantasy and of the world that you want to inhabit and the person that you want to be. And I think I talk about that quite a bit in songs, and trying to get there, trying to figure out what that is, and trying to figure out what's holding me back from getting there. Often in the second person, so as to distance myself slightly. But yeah, I do sing about sort of being held apart from that perfection or that dream or that perfect experience or relationship or realization of yourself. I do sing about that quite a bit. Also, it's a great rhyming word because it's just like a straight up E, you know, and it's a nice word.
Yeah.
It's like a beautiful word to even read or say, you know. It's got the soft, like you start with it's percussive, and then you land on like the bed of the M that's nice and soft, you know. Just lets you down. Dream.
Yeah. I wonder if that was by design. Like they were looking for a sleepy word.
Maybe. Like that thing they say, the word bed looks like a bed.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ah, that's cute.
Have you ever had any reoccurring dreams, either of you?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
What was it?
There's one dream that I still have today. I feel like I've had it like, I don't know how many times, but I'm going to say like 6 times through my whole life. And it's a dream about a camping trip I did with my parents to Spain. There was me, my sister, and my parents. And then there was this other family that had 2 boys that were kind of like the same age as me and my sister. So, you know, we were just like hanging out all the time. And I remember we had to use these like water shoes because it was like camping by waterfalls, and like to get to the waterfalls, you had to like walk through the water with rocks. So we had to put these like little like water slippers. And I do have like a recurring dream from like holding hands with this boy that was like from a Spanish family, and just walking towards these waterfalls and just like, I don't know, feeling content with that. I don't know. It was,
wow.
I don't know. It's kind of
so wholesome.
Sounds so nice.
Yeah, it sounds beautiful.
That's one of the nicest reoccurring dreams we've had.
Definitely.
Yeah. But
hands down.
But yeah, I don't know. It does come to me often. And then there's this other one, and I feel like it's a more recent one, but I've had it like at least 3 times since like university times. That was that I didn't finish my degree, and because there was one specific class that I couldn't pass, which is not true. And so every time I wake up, I'm like, did I actually not finish my degree? And like, because of this.
Or even more worrisome question, does it even matter at all?
Yeah.
I know, but I don't know why I have it. It's funny.
Yeah. I've read that just schoolwork in general, or feeling like you've missed a class, or you're late for something, or you're underprepared for a test, and whatever it is, those are really common dreams.
Your old band's back together and you didn't study the song.
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, Nico, you moved to Toronto from Portugal in 2014, and you've been writing original songs and experimenting with your voice and your singing since then. Did you move to Canada with the intention of being a songwriter? And if not, how did you start writing songs?
I didn't. I did not. I mean, music was always something very important for me, like from a young age. Like I started singing in school choirs or just church choirs, and then scouts choirs and
Scouts
then,
choirs.
Yeah, there was a scout.
Oh, I never had a scout choir.
No?
No, that's cool.
And then, you know, just putting your first band together. And I did had a band for quite a long time. There was a cover band. It was different formats. We had like just a 2-piece acoustic, me and a girlfriend playing guitar. And then like we had percussion sometimes. And so we had a drummer or a bassist. It depended. But I never really wrote my own music back in Portugal. It was mostly just like playing covers. And I studied design, and then after I graduated, almost not graduated from that degree, then I think I did. Then I moved here to pursue the career as a designer more than anything. It was just like, I was just curious. I wanted to find an internship, and then I did. It was 3 months, and then I was like, okay, I'll just go back after those 3 months. And then it just like stayed for another year. And then another year, and then it's been 6 years now. And then along all that time, I did find myself more curious about pursuing my own music. I feel like the fact that I didn't have a lot of friends in Toronto made me pick up the guitar, and because I didn't even play the guitar before I moved to Canada. It's very recent to me. But I was like, you know, if it's that hard to like penetrate in the music scene, at least it seemed to me, because the city was new, the culture was new, and so I was like, okay, maybe I'll just, you know, start doing it myself. And that's when I started playing around with melody and like old melodies that I had from times when I was younger, and just kind of like puzzling things together. And then when I realized I had songs, I was like, okay, I'm going to quit my full-time design job, and I'm going to try to pursue both, like do freelance design work and do music. And that's kind of when I met Tim, and he was super supportive of all of that. And then we just kind of aligned that way, I guess. But I don't know. I feel like I'm always divided between the two worlds, like visual arts and design and music. And I try to like combine them as much as I can.
Do pretty good, huh?
I try. I'm trying. It's all new to me. Sometimes I'm like, how can I turn all of this that I love to do into like actually making money? you know?
That's a whole other question.
Yeah.
But that's...
Do you ever find that one inspires the other?
I think music inspires design more than... no. I think they do inspire each other. I think I'm more aware of it since I started making music, because I had all these songs, and then I was like, okay, so how am I presenting these songs to the world? I was like, oh, wait, I'm a designer. I can do that alone. Like, I can do that myself. And now I can rely more on the process of like, oh, like I watch a movie and an idea for a song comes, and I can combine both worlds a little bit more.
I've noticed in writing with you and playing with you and recording with you stuff, if we end up talking about the scene of the song, like what's happening right now visually in the song, it's a way to sort of push through. And you often get very excited when we agree on what the scene is. Like the Mountain Man one, you know, you have a very clear scene in your head as to what's going on. Yeah, you almost hear
that comes off in the lyrics
visually
too.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That was going to be my next question. Do you ever write together? And you do?
Yeah, we sort of do. I mean, Nicole has a brilliant knack for melody and interesting chordal kind of combinations. She often has these strengths and does these things that I would never think about. And I find that really exciting. And then I can contribute by just being a real nerd and stickler for words and the rhythm of words and the meaning of words. And I often can help bring a bridge to the thing or help create the form. And and that sort of thing. So we do work together. Would you agree?
I do agree.
Okay.
I do. Yeah, Tim is very good. Yeah, Tim is very good. I often I feel like, yes, I get stuck sometimes too much on just the melody of it and the feeling of what the song is trying to tell me. And then I just kind of crystallize a little bit because I don't know exactly what it is that I'm saying, with words. And so Tim is very good demystifying that. Yeah, he just asked me the right questions, I guess. You just kind of guide things. I'm working on songs now. I'm working on new music, and there's this one song called Warrior. Mm-hmm. Definitely a song that we collaborated, that you helped me write the lyrics of it. Mm-hmm. Even though I had the melody and the harmony that I wanted, I just was missing some essential words, and you did help. Mm-hmm. And I guess the opposite too. You come to me and ask me for help with your I don't know, certain melodies or something.
Yeah, 2 ways. Yeah,
it sounds like you guys are two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So when did you start writing songs, Tim? I know you you started with piano when you were really young, 5 or 6, and you've been playing music ever since. But when did you start being creative with your own melodies and lyrics?
I started making piano music when I was really young. I don't remember how young, but a child certainly. I like to make up things on the piano. And actually, I did used to write songs with words too, but never with the piano. Those were kind of separate things.
Interesting.
I would sing to myself and sing songs and sort of just kind of ape what is on the radio, or what was on the radio in the 80s. Which was a great time for radio, actually. Great time for the chorus. And so I would sit in my room, and I actually found a cassette tape the other day of the first record I ever made, which was just a single tape of me singing into a boombox. But there was no instrument. It was just me singing with my really, really high voice.
It was so cute. I wish we could play it right now.
I was I want to hear it. It sounds adorable.
Yeah.
It sounds
the opening track is me singing Blue Suede Shoes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
With the highest voice. Well, I'd written a song for my mother, I think. I mean, what else do you have to write about when you're 6?
Fair.
And then I thought, well, everyone else in my family's going to get jealous, so I have to write a song for everybody. So I ended up writing a song for everybody, and I don't remember that much about it. The tape player we had was malfunctioning, so I only heard a little bit of it. But I want to dig that out again when we get back to Toronto and figure out what was going through my head. But long story short, I made up songs from a very young age. Yeah, and sort of got more serious about it, I guess, in junior high and high school. Mm-hmm. I was in grungy bands, and when my voice changed and I quit choir, I began to yarl in the 90s style. And I was in a couple sort of Pearl Jam-esque bands there for a while. Get my scream on. So yeah, we wrote, songs, very cheesy things. Yeah, so it was in earnest then. And then I went away to university and kept writing and came back, and people seemed to want to hear them at that point.
Yeah. Can't blame them.
No.
What is the worst nightmare that you've ever had?
Oh. Whew.
And these questions are for the both of you, too, by the way.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we definitely had a few doozies in my childhood. One of the first memories I have was a nightmare. It's not the worst one I've ever had, but it's almost like Louis C.K. said in a special one time that it's like you had a thought so hard or a feeling that was so intense that you sort of came online, and that's your first memory. Right. And I think that's sort of this to me. I was in a crib, and the nightmare, I don't even know if I was asleep fully, but the dream was that there was a giant spider directly above me, sort of slowly lowering onto me.
Ugh.
I don't know if I've since sort of imposed this over the memory, but I'm pretty sure it was the mobile above me. Right. You put these put these mobiles over children. and they kind of look like spiders lowering onto you.
That's absolutely true. Yeah.
And that's I think what happened. But I remember screaming and screaming and screaming, and my mom came in, and then I realized there was no giant spider. But I mean, that's kind of terrifying, especially if the spider is as big as a mobile and you're as small as a kid in a crib. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm still afraid of spiders, so...
I just got a spider out of this room seconds before this call. It was a giant spider, and we got her out onto the porch. How about you, Nico? What's your worst nightmare?
I don't remember, like, I don't know. I have some chasing nightmares that I remember that were bad. And I also have these nightmares where I'm like, there's a group of people running away from something and I'm always the last one. And I can't run faster for some reason. My legs don't run faster.
Oh yeah.
You guys ever had that? It's just like
Yes.
it's like you know you can.
You're running in mud or
yeah, it's like you're running in your
Yeah.
body is like forcing you not to be fast and you're just the last one and something is almost getting you. Like
Oh god.
you know, I've had those.
One of the only recurring nightmares I had as a child was there's this pond by my house that was famous for just having crazy ass animals in it.
Whoa.
And this is like a pretty, like I live just a little bit south of Boston. But somebody saw an alligator in it once.
What?
And I was losing it. I was like 9 years old at the time, and that pond haunted me for years.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only alligator that I've ever heard of in that area of
Yeah,
Boston.
I don't even know if it was true. I just, but I couldn't get it out of my mind.
Yeah, and as a 9-year-old too, you're like, I'm not going in there.
That's peak fear age. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we went down to Florida because my grandmother lived there, and they do have alligators that just roam around willy-nilly. So then I actually got to see one at like 11 years old, and I was like, awesome, my fears have been cemented.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. My next question is, are either of you sleepwalkers?
No.
I was a sleepwalker as a child. I'm no longer, thankfully, but I did, which is pretty crazy. I used to be a little bit afraid of it. I had a couple scares one time. I was on a choir trip, and our choir went to Florida, which was a pretty cool choir trip. And apparently I sleepwalked out of
Sleepwalked?
out of the hotel room.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, I used to get around in the night, but not since I've been grown up.
What a way to phrase that. I used to get around in the night.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
As a child.
Yeah.
You do move though, lots.
Do I?
Yeah.
Mm.
You normally fall asleep faster. And
I'm
then
good
you
at falling
you have
asleep.
these like leg spasms and arm spasms and your hands. I like almost like you're playing music.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you do.
Oh.
I like that idea. Because some tortured genius is playing Stravinsky in his sleep. Probably just spasming. But you have a thing in the night where you steal all of the sheets. I don't know if that's related
come
to,
A loving call out.
Yeah. The slow laugh afterward is all you need. Like, ha, 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 ha. So, Tim, in an interview, you said that with Forever Overhead, you had to think, what's the purest way forward, and what is the set going to sound like, and how is it going to be the most true? When you're making a record, do you always picture how it will translate to a live show, or was that just a mindset you were in because you were transitioning from Hey Rosetta to a solo act?
A good question. I don't know. I mean, for me, an album is a very large thing. And so song specific, most songs, at that point, I had to think kind of harder about what it would look like live because I didn't know what my band was going to be. I didn't know what the live show was going to be necessarily. So it was a bit of a wide open question. At this point, making this record I'm making now, I'm imagining my band playing it.
Yeah.
My guys now. So I do imagine that. Yeah. And, I've been at this a few years now. Like, it is kind of a good idea. The fact that you're on tour so much and you play these songs live so much, it does enter into the process a bit. I was writing a song this morning, actually, and I was thinking, what is it you want to say at the beginning of a concert? You know, I want this song to be like the first song, like welcoming people into this new place where you're going to make music for them for the next hour. Like, what is it you want to say? How do you sort of welcome them in and set the scene? So yeah, I do think about that sometimes. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Have either of you ever had a lucid dream wherein you realize that you're dreaming and then you can control what's happening?
The first half of that, I realized I was dreaming.
Right.
I could not control it. But I had a lucid dream once. This is so boring. This is a classic Tim Baker dream. I was in bed and I was looking at the dresser across the room, and I was asleep in a dream, and I thought to myself, that's not my dresser. My dresser's not even there.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, wait, I'm dreaming because I know there's a dream dresser in a dream location. I'm dreaming right now.
Oh my God.
I'm dreaming right now and I'm still asleep and I haven't woke myself up. And then I woke up.
And that was it?
That was it.
Yeah. I just want you to know, Tim, as you were recounting that dream, Joss was yawning beside you. I'm just saying.
It's not on purpose, I swear.
I believe that. I came on this podcast with full transparency that I do not have dreams.
Don't have dreams.
And they're not that exciting, the ones that I do have. But Nico, you probably have a cool lucid dream or something, huh? Help me out, huh?
I don't know, actually.
Throw us a bone.
Lucid dreams. I don't know, actually. I don't recall any like lucid dreams.
Every time the topic of lucid dreaming comes up, I can't help but think, like, what are we doing wasting our time here not lucid dreaming every day? Like, what?
I know.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much untapped potential.
Yeah. Instant freedom. And I'm just like, nah, I'm kind of busy. Kind of busy. I'll do that later. It's like, what? Man, so apparently, I mean, do you know people that have trained themselves? That it is possible?
It is
Yeah.
possible.
It is.
I don't know anybody personally, but I know that it is possible.
I
Yeah,
have a friend, actually. Alit is very good. But I think it's related with her sleep paralysis. She can actually, I think you can reach a point where you're like lucid dreaming and like feeling paralyzed. And then you can actually guide yourself where to go. She can do it.
Yeah.
She's done it a couple times. And it's like, I feel like the first couple of times that it happens to you, you don't know what's going on and you're paranoid. I know she just informed herself so much that it got to a point where it started happening and she knew exactly what to do. And then she kind of took advantage of it. And she was just like kind of navigating. Yeah.
It sounds amazing.
Which sounds
Awesome.
amazing. Yeah, it does
What
sound
are we doing here?
Yeah,
Wasting our
it does
time.
sound.
Oh, man.
Yeah, let's stop this podcast right
Yeah.
now and go and all try and lucid dream.
Exactly.
I do have a friend. He doesn't lucid dream, but he has sleep paralysis all the time. And just recently, he had it while he fell asleep on the couch. And his roommate came in the room and saw that his eyes were open. And he was like terrified looking at his eyes. And just said to him in like a really soft, creepy voice, like, help, help, help. And then so had to be shook awake by his roommate to save him from the sleep paralysis.
Whoa. He managed to speak words whilst being in sleep paralysis?
I've done
he said he
that to
tried
you, too.
with all his might and actually got it out.
Wow.
But I only had a one sleep paralysis episode, and it was not that long ago. We were sleeping together, and I woke you up because I was screaming so loud from my paralysis that I actually woke you up. You remember? I was like trying to get your attention for you to like shake me up and like wake me out of it. You remember?
You screamed?
I was like kind of like thing. You don't remember
I
that?
don't really remember that.
That's good because it's scary.
I don't like that at all.
So we only got a couple more questions here, and then we'll be out. So Nico, I really love your video for Please Don't Forget, although it kills me that you don't get to see the finished painting at the end of the video. The color scheme reminded me of the cover of the single, though. Is the painting from the video the single artwork,
Yes.
or were you just referencing the artwork?
It is exactly that.
It is?
Yeah, it is.
Awesome.
Hey.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. It was intentional that I didn't want it show the painting at the end because like, you know, you can't really just do the one painting in one day, especially for Rachel.
Yeah.
So I wanted to respect that her process too. So we did started the painting while we were like shooting. But you know, the budget was not that big. So we did it in like a day, and she just finished the painting at home later. But yeah, the base of the painting is in the video. And yeah, I just wanted to like, you know, have the design influence the music kind of too. And it was nice collaborating with her and having her daughter in it too. And
That's so sweet.
And yeah, it was fun. It was definitely very fun.
Yeah. I definitely like it even more now that I know that it's actually the painting from the artwork. And I'm less hurt about not getting to see the finished product because you do get to see it anyway. So then that brings me to my last question, which is we get a little philosophical here at the end. And this question is for the both of you. Why do you think we dream?
Why do you think? Well, I think, I don't know, I feel like dreams kind of help you reorganize feelings in a way. Feelings or just revive like certain moments. There is one dream I had recently, and I think I mentioned it earlier, where my grandma appeared. You know, I haven't seen her in like 7 years that she passed away. And she was there, and I had this very vivid like perception that she was there, and she was calm, and she was like just kind of looking at me and communicating with me, but it without like words or like, you know, it was just like she was there. And I think maybe that's why we dream, to just revive these feelings and emotions, and to help our brains kind of rewire, you know, certain like more traumatic situations or things that had happened to us, or just less good emotions. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you take your dreams very seriously. You often wake up and have a dream and then
go see what means.
Go see what the meaning is, and sometimes I like to try to decipher them. Because I don't dream very often, I probably have a slightly less romantic view of dreaming.
Right.
I mean, I think it's just like random synapses going while you sleep. Like your brain perhaps doesn't need as much sleep as your body or something, and it just has its own little adventures. You know, does it truly reveal your desires? Does it lead you to your destiny? I don't know. I kind of don't. I like to think it doesn't, because that would mean that I don't have any desires or any destiny, because I never dream. I don't know. I don't know why we dream. Certainly science tells us that it's a way of like making sense of the day's sort of information, sifting through. I mean, if it's this idea that your brain is just like looking through your experience of the day and throwing out what it doesn't need to hold on to, and sort of sealing away and, you know, stamping, remember this is important, and filing it away. That's pretty cool.
But I don't think that's true, though, because often I dream of things that, you know, I haven't really thought of in a long time, and they just come.
Well,
right?
I don't know. I mean, maybe that's what your brain is doing, and the sort of projection of it onto your semi-conscious brain, like the dream, maybe that's just a sort of side effect of the filing and the sorting.
Like going back to previous things.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
Could be.
I gotta get Oliver Sacks on here or something. I don't know. I mean, I like it.
Those are great answers. Those are acceptable answers. I think. So that brings us to the end of the show. Let everybody know how they can find you guys online.
You go first.
Okay, you can find me online at timbaker.net. Went for the .net. But .com was taken, so what are you going to do? You can find me on the social medias at Hey Tim Baker. And I suppose that's about all you need.
I think so
these
too.
days.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And for me, you can find my music on Spotify or iTunes. You just search Nico Paulo. And the same for the socials. Yeah.
Nico Paulo, just like that.
Nico Paulo, just like that.
Perfect.
Incredible.
Yeah. And if you're still confused, you can read the names in the description of this podcast, and that will tell you how to spell everything and where to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you again for coming on, you guys. This has been awesome. And thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Thank
Or
you.
next time.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. I hope I'll dream tonight. This in-depth conversation.
Yeah, me too. Dear dreamers, thank you so much for listening. You can rate and review this podcast on Apple Podcasts, and don't forget to subscribe to the Lost in Dreams podcast wherever you're listening from. Make sure to check out my Patreon at patreon.com/Dylan Menzie to find out how you can get access to bonus content, merch, music, and more. Every dollar is so appreciated, so from the bottom of my heart, thank you. This show is produced by yours truly, and the music is from my newest record, Lost in Dreams, which you can stream anywhere right now. If you have a dream you want us to know about, send me an email at menzie.dylan@gmail.com, and your dream could be featured on the show. Thank you to the Canada Council of the Arts for supporting this project, and I'll see you next week.